Hey friends, welcome to Cooking with Claudia. Today I'm showing you how I made this delicious steak and vegetable stir fry. This recipe is so easy and very delicious. Let's get started. We're using flank steak for this recipe. This is the best steak to use for stir fries because it's very tender and juicy. We're going to cut up this steak, so I'm going to grab my knife. When you're cutting the steak, make sure you cut against the grain, just like I'm doing. Cutting the steak this way will make it very tender and juicy. If you cut with the grain, it's going to make it very gamey and chewy. You also want to make sure you cut your steak into very thin slices. While I'm cutting the steak, I'm going to show you my knives. These knives were sent to me by Lux Homewares to use in today's video. These knives are durable and great quality. I've owned them for over 5 years. It has a built-in sharpener right here, which is a very useful feature to provide you with sharp knives at all times. I'll leave a purchasing link in the description box if you guys are interested. Once you've sliced up your steak, transfer it into a mixing bowl. We're going to marinate the steak with some soy sauce, honey, rice wine vinegar, some Italian seasoning and garlic powder. Last, we're going to add some cornstarch, then mix everything together very well. Okay guys? Once mixed in, we're going to let this marinate for 2 to 4 hours for the meat to soak in the flavors very well. I'm going to cover my bowl, then place this in the fridge to marinate. Next, place a pan over medium-high heat, then add some olive oil. Then once the meat has finished marinating, add half of that into the hot oil. Arrange the meat in a single layer, then sear for 1 minute on one side. Then turn them over and let them sear for 1 minute on the other side. Once both sides are seared, just stir everything through. Transfer onto a plate, then set aside for later. Repeat the same process for the rest of your meat. Then once that is cooked, add to the rest of your cooked meat, then set aside for later. You're going to be left with some burnt bits in your pan, which is good for flavor. But if there's too much, make sure you discard some because it could make the stir fry have a bitter taste. Add a little bit of olive oil, then we're going to saute some vegetables. I went ahead and cut up some carrots, onion, and broccoli. I'm going to add those to the pan. Season with salt and black pepper. Mix everything together. Then saute the veggies for about 3 or 4 minutes on medium-high or until they soften a little bit. Next, we're going to add some freshly minced garlic and ginger, as well as some red pepper flakes. Stir everything together and let this cook for about 30 seconds. Toss in the seared flank steak and some cooked noodles. I'm using spaghetti. We're also going to add this stir fry sauce. I'm going to show you how I made that. It's just a mixture of chicken broth, soy sauce, oyster sauce, and brown sugar. Mix everything together, then add that to the pan. Next, you're going to turn your heat to high, then mix everything together. You're going to keep mixing and cooking this on high heat for 2 minutes. And last, we're going to freshen the flavor by adding some chopped scallions. Toss everything together and that's it, you guys. We are done. This steak and veggie stir fry has such an amazing flavor. It's going to make your home smell really good. I like this meal to be packed with more meat and vegetables, so I didn't use a whole lot of noodles, but you can add more noodles if you like. This flank steak veggie stir fry noodles is so scrumptious, delicious, flavorful. You guys have to make this. If you want the ingredients and measurements, check the description box.